So I kind of wanted to talk about this for a while. I just don't really, I guess, didn't really know how to come across with it. A few years back, I had a job, or not a few years back, I had a job where I was the subordinate of a girl who was a few years younger than me. I had another coworker who was several years younger than me, and we used to work in just tight little room. It was a little kind of close knit family, I guess. But there have been many times on occasions where I was called an incel, called a misogynist, as you do. And the reason those things were brought up is because I have a fairly bad streak when it comes to women. I whether it's communicating or stuff like that, I just don't have a whole lot of luck with ladies. And so, a few times I had said, like, I think all girls have a hive mind, and because my experience with dating apps and stuff like that, a lot of the times I felt like every conversation I was having was the same conversation, just with a different face. And could be my fault. Maybe I'm just not that interesting of a person. Maybe my conversation skills suck more than I think they do. But it was usually that was the reason that I was called that, because like, oh, you're attacking women, or you're saying this about them. It's like, I'm not attacking anybody, and honestly, I don't even really think what I said was insulting in any way. I guess unless if you get insulted by being called part of a hive mind. But it to me, a lot of the things in the world has just kind of gone south when it comes to this stuff. As growing up as a male, you can't really talk about stuff all that much, because a lot of times you'll be called names, you'll be called weak, you'll be called a coward, you'll be called this and that. Because there's always been that stereotype. Like, even nowadays, there still kind of goes on. It's like, well, men can't talk about their feelings. Men are supposed to be men. And but then there's, on the other side of that coin, you have a lot of times where women will say, we want you to be more open. We want you to be able to confide your feelings and all that. And but when we do that, it really does kind of seem like it's a losing battle, no matter how we come across it. Like in that same job, the youngest girl in the room was complaining about a boy, I think, and she had a crush on, or something like that. And I a few more years of experience, I guess, in my end. So I tell her this, I tell her that, give her some of my advice. At the beginning, we kind of had like a brother sister sort of aura, I guess. But what perplexed me was just like, why can you talk about guys in a demeaning light, so to speak, but I can't do the same? That does seem to be a little bit fishy, and I think that's really what has happened nowadays. Is that, I'll just go out and say it, I do believe women have kind of been put on this pedestal to a degree, where they have a lot of things they can do that guys can't, or they have a lot more push and shove. The best example is the hitting part. You know, uh, only a coward hits a woman and stuff like that. But it's a thing of where, like, they'll come up to you, they'll hit you, and it'd be like, you can't hit me back, I'm a girl. And I think that's kind of a strength that they got. It's because it's just, in this scenario, even if she's the one who was attacking me and I just let one loose, I could still go to jail because I put my hands on her. Another thing is the whole rape idea. It's like, it does happen. There's no denying that. I know somebody at some point will bring up the statistics of, it happens more to females than males. Not saying it doesn't. I'm just saying many men's lives have been ruined by a female saying that she was raped by them. Whether it's because she regretted having sex with them, or because maybe she just didn't like the guy, who knows? There was even one story where a guy was going to be a pro football player, but he got accused of it and was sent to jail for like 8 or 10 years or something like that. And when he got out, because apparently it takes 8 or 10 years to figure out if you raped someone or not, she didn't get in trouble with that at all. And that's what seems to happen a lot. These, they pretty much have weaponized these kinds of things. And you say it's like, oh, well, you're a misogynist and all of that. It's like, I don't think you're calling me that just because you actually think I'm one. I think you're saying that because I'm saying something about it. Because that does seem to happen a lot. That's just like in schools. You're always taught to defend yourself. You talk to the teachers and all that. They don't want to do anything about the bully, but once you go over and you knock his head off his shoulders, whatever, you're the bad guy. And I think that's kind of the situation here, is where, men tend to keep themselves a lot, because in reality, there is that fear that you could be accused of something and that ruin your whole life. And I think that's honestly a scary thing, is because you could literally have done nothing. You could be a straight A student. You could go down to the soup kitchen on the weekends and help out the homeless. You could do all this good stuff, but whether you just maybe made her mad, you rejected her advances, or whatever, she can go out and say that you did something to her, and you will be arrested. And it happens often enough to have somewhat become a meme at this point. And I think that is just, it's not good. We're grown up, we're raised told to, if you're in an argument with a woman, just say you're sorry and admit you were wrong, even if you are dead center in the correct way. You're supposed to say that, just, and I think that really, that kind of has just made things worse. Because I feel like a lot of ladies think that they can just say whatever they want, do whatever they want, and treat people however they want, and they can get away with it because nobody's able to do anything back. You can't say something because they might say something back to you, or they might do this, or they might do that. And it's become, I would really say, a big problem, because it's just like, a lot of guys are scared nowadays. A lot of guys don't seem to want to have anything to do with ladies, because it really just does seem like there has been a handful of ones that are bad apples. And they just... They keep pushing the envelope, trying to see how far they can get it, and it's not helping anybody out. Me as myself is like, when I was at the gym, I try to keep my eyes dead center on the damn ground, because I don't want to be, because I look around, I see a little bit movement, it catches my attention, I glance over. But I don't want to do that and have some girl just manage to see me when I'm just wondering what the movement was, and be like, he's a pervert, he's this. I mean, you see all them TikTok videos of, these girls, showing their butts off in the mirrors at gyms or stuff like that, and being like, this pervert was staring at me. I literally saw a video where this one girl was, like, literally sticking out her butt trying to take a video of it, and saying that this guy was being a perv in the background staring at her. He literally... and went back to his elliptical. And that's really what the world has become. Like, you can't say nothing to nobody, you can't look at nobody, you can't do anything. At this point, all men should just stay at the damn house, because every woman is going to use what they can do to get you into trouble. Because they can. They have that ability. And that's the problem. Girls don't need guns. Girls don't need giant muscles. Girls don't need a lot of this stuff, because many of them have weaponized this ability to just say something and have it happen. A girl can say that I raped her, and I could, cops bust in here, arrest me, and I can go to jail for God knows how long, and then just to find out, he didn't do it, she was just mad about what some idiot on the internet had to say. And that's however many years I spent in jail off my life. And she won't get in trouble for that. Now, I don't recall if they had a plan to start putting these kind of things in place to where if this does happen, the female will get in trouble. I don't remember that or not. But that's just what seems to be happening a lot nowadays. You can't do anything or say anything without fear of a girl taking it the wrong way or being offended by it or something like that. And using what they can do in order to get you into trouble. I mean, that's the worst part about this. And many girls seem to revel in that fact that they can do this. Because there's been several times girls were happy and saying this, that, and that about, her guy getting arrested or something like that because she lied about it. And, that's right there, that's shit. I'm all for, equal rights and all this jack. But when you got, you got these girls out there doing that, that's not surprised why a lot of guys are starting to kind of keep their distance, keep their nose to the ground, and all that. Is because they just don't want to get that life sentence because they said something that pissed a girl off. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm seeing things in a completely different way. Who knows? But I mean, that to me, that's just what kind of that's what sparked that is I'm an incel because I had say I think all girls have a hive mind due to past, I guess, failures at a relationship, but a girl can say something bad about a guy and that be completely fine. I don't think that's entirely too fair, but that's the world we live in nowadays. All right, anyways, adios.